Please welcome the Executive Dean of the Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine, Dr. J. Harry Isaacson.
Tonight is really a very special night. The Saturday night event has really become legendary, and we're so happy you're here. We also have here, under the weather a little bit, Dr. Tom Mihalovich, CEO and President of Cleveland Clinic, and Jamie Stoller, the Chair of our Education Institute. We have from Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine, Dean Pam Davis, and we have several other of their deans, Pat Thomas, Lena Mehta, Steve Riccinati, Amy Wilson-Delfos, and Kent Smith. We also have Richard Clark from the Murphy Foundation, and I believe Margot Copeland from Key Bank was also going to join us as well. So we have a very strong relationship with Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine, and on November 1st, this past year, we had a wonderful celebration in the new health education campus. We had the 175th anniversary of Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine, and during that event, Pam Davis was awarded the Medal of Excellence in Health Science Innovation. That is that med school's highest honor. Congratulations, Pam. Also should acknowledge that our relationship is even growing stronger as we have really co-led the effort to build our new health education campus. I told the students here, when I graduated medical school, I was the last class till they built a new hospital. I know how you feel, okay? But come back and see us after residency and we'll welcome you with open arms. So we're having a big impact, CCLCM, on the Cleveland Clinic. This is a list of photo of students who have trained here. We now have over 50 of our graduates who've trained at Cleveland Clinic, and 7 who have joined us on staff, including our new Associate Dean for Curriculum and Student Affairs, Christine Warren. This is also a time to honor Mrs. Norma Lerner. Norma and her late husband, Al, have been so instrumental in this program. Norma is currently celebrating the graduation of one of her grandchildren, and so she couldn't be here, but she sent along this video message.
I'm so sorry I can't be with you today, and I remain inspired by your many accomplishments. You have made all of us, especially my family and I, very proud. I know each of you will also give back to your parents and your communities in very meaningful ways. Again, congratulations to each and every one of you.
Well, class of 2019, graduation is a time for reflection. This is a picture, you recognize this? July 2014, your first day of medical school. And just think about how you have grown over those 5 years. We've benefited from having you here. You brought enormous talent to our medical school. You've touched the lives of patients. You've made scientific discoveries. And you've made us overall a better school. Now, your journey has been guided by many people along the way. And so before we acknowledge you, I think it's only appropriate that we take a minute to acknowledge the many people who have helped make this day come true. So, as I go through different sequence, if you are able to stand, please stand and stay standing. So if you're one of the family and friends here to support a graduate, please stand. Okay. If you're one of our admissions and student affairs team, please stand. And a special shout out to Sade Jackson, Tanya Moore, Brenda Lowe, Liz Myers for helping really prepare for the event tonight. If you're one of our physician advisors who've guided the students over 5 years, please stand. If you're from our curricular affairs, IT, or anyone in the administrative team, please stand. If you're one of our faculty who's either taught students in clinical science, basic science, or research, or a member of the MSPRC, please stand. And finally, our deans who really help us run the whole program, please stand. Okay, now we're going to play a word association game. You can keep your answer to yourself. When I say pathologist, cardiac surgeon, and CEO, think of what comes to mind. Well, let me share 3 stories that might surprise you. Story number 1, the pathologist. So a card arrived on my desk last fall from a pathologist, Sarah Abbott, CCLCM class of 2012. Sarah wrote, quote, "One of my favorite stories from residency is about the time I nearly passed a man on my way out of the hospital after a long night of call. Sensing he needed something, I decided to stop. He was trying to find his way out of the hospital and back to his hotel, and I told him he could walk with me. He started talking, and it turned out he was the husband of the woman who received a kidney transplant that I had been called in to evaluate that very night. I enjoyed hearing about how much this moment meant to their family. He enjoyed hearing what an excellent kidney his wife had received. It was hard to explain, but it seemed like a moment we both really needed." Story number 2, the cardiac surgeon. Recently, Kendall Cobb, one of our physician advisors, shared an experience she had in the hospital while visiting a friend. Quote, "I'm writing to share with you a story about one of the thoracic surgery residents. I was sitting with a friend last night whose father had been taken to emergency surgery. She shared with me that a doctor named Bogdan had come to explain the surgery, and he asked at least 3 times what else he could do in terms of answering questions the family had. Now, Bogdan is not that common a name, and the what else is a technique that CCLCM students learn in their communication skills to make sure the patient's questions are adequately explored and answered. Indeed, Bogdan graduated from CCLCM 3 years ago and is currently a thoracic surgery resident." Kendall writes, "He exemplifies the confidence, the ability to communicate, and the respect for patients and their families that is a hallmark of CCLCM grads." Story number 3, the CEO. Now, this story I heard twice in the last month from different family members. That's really somewhat unusual. It was a Saturday afternoon, and the wife of one of our retired staff lay critically ill in our ICU. To the family's surprise, CEO Tom Mihalovich arrived at the bedside. What the family described was that within minutes of arriving, Tom comforted the family, thanked the team of caregivers in the ICU, and even shared an observation that led to improved care of the patient. His willingness to make himself available during the time of great stress made a profound impact on this family. So I ask you again, what do a pathologist, cardiac surgeon, and CEO have in common? Well, when they're connected to Cleveland Clinic, they all demonstrate compassion and the value of human connection. This book just came out last week. In this book, Compassionomics, authors Stephen Treziak and Anthony Mazzarelli have reviewed over 1,000 scientific abstracts and 250 published papers. What they found is that compassion reduces pain, improves healing, lowers blood pressure, and helps alleviate stress and anxiety. Importantly, compassion also reduces doctor burnout, a condition that affects almost half of U.S. physicians today. Dr. Mihalovich has set a goal of the Cleveland Clinic doubling the number of lives touched in the next 5 years. Students, think of the opportunities you will have to touch the lives of patients, residents, nurses, and other healthcare providers in your residencies and beyond. In just the next few years, you will touch the lives of hundreds of caregivers and thousands of patients. Tonight, as you prepare to make the transition from student to physician, remember compassion. It's now my privilege to formally introduce our CEO and President, Tom Mihaljevic. Dr. Mihaljević's journey has included working as a nursing assistant, medical school in Croatia, cardiac surgery training in Boston, becoming the world's expert in robotic mitral valve surgery, leading the successful launch of Cleveland Clinic Abu Dhabi, and returning to Cleveland Clinic as CEO in 2018. Not bad for a young man who still has his best years ahead of him. What do you think? In Dr. Mihaljevic, we have the leader who understands and values the importance of our academic mission. He values CCM, and he values our partnership with Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine. Most importantly, he understands the meaning of the human connection. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Mihaljevic.
But thank you very much for kind words of introduction. So when you get into the role that I have, you come usually just for introductions and then you leave because people say so many nice things about you, most of them undeservingly so. But today is not about us, it's all about you. So congratulations to all of you. You just reached the end of the beginning. So, yeah, just think about it for a moment. The end of the beginning of your journey of becoming the members of the most noblest profession known to mankind. You know, starting very, very soon, you will start to share the responsibility for lives of others. There's no greater responsibility, but there's also no greater reward than anyone can ever experience. You know, you'll be coming back from work. You'll be tired, oftentimes exhausted. Some of you sleep deprived, but all of you will always, as long as you stay in this profession, will be able to come back to work and say one thing that matters, that you've been able to touch a human life, and that you've been able to help and do something meaningful every single day for the rest of your careers. There are very few professions that can say so, and that is what is wonderful about being a physician. You know, today is a day when we celebrate you, but there's also a certain degree of sadness. So I see the smiles over here and sadness over there, because all of these people who've been your extended family for a number of years are kind of sad and proud to see you go, and at the same time, the emotions are mixed. And I see smiles over here, and I particularly see the smiles in the upper rows of people who've been supporting you their entire lives, your friends and families. You know, you are definitely the source of our pride as the Cleveland Clinic. You carry the future of this organization. You're an essential part of our mission. I cannot tell you how grateful I am to my colleagues who are here today, to our friends from Case Western Reserve University, to Dr. Isaacson, who is leading this phenomenal institution. That is a source of our pride. And you're also the part of the future of medicine, not just the future of Cleveland Clinic. You know, Norma Lerner, who's a dear, dear friend, and the entire Lerner family have been very supportive of this mission, and we can never say enough thanks to them and their generosity as well. But just one remark, you know, it's at the beginning of this journey, you will be pulled in very many different directions, and by the way, it is not going to get any easier over time. It is going to get more complicated and more challenging, and that is good. You know, every job that is worth doing has to be challenging. But one thing that I would just like to ask you is never to forget that the people who are sitting behind you have played and will continue to play an important part of your lives and important roles in your life. So it is going to be oftentimes tempting to find time to think about your dearest ones, but my plea is never forget them. Make sure that you always find a time for a phone call to your mom, your dad, your dearest ones. I keep on doing it after all these years. That's how my day begins. every single day a call to my mom. I think they will appreciate it more than you can ever think. So, we're very, very proud of you. I wish you nothing but the very best. Remember, we'll always keep our lights on for you. So Cleveland Clinic will always be your home. Make sure that you continue to treat each other and your patients as your family, and the organizations in which you work as your home, and that is going to be a phenomenal recipe for success in your careers. And lastly, do not forget, you'll always have a job at the Cleveland Clinic. Okay? Good luck to you. God bless.
Thank you, Tom, for that excellent advice and words of wisdom. Now, we're going to move to the class gift. So if Ling Ling and Jose would come down.
So countless people have supported our medical school endeavors, many of whom are obviously in this room today. On behalf of the Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine class of 2019, we would like to take a few moments to thank two people for who us are like behind the scenes most days, but have been integral in our progress and success. I have the pleasure of speaking to the leadership, work, and support Mrs. Norma Lerner has dedicated to our institution. As director of the Cleveland Clinic, co-founder of the Lerner Research Institute, and founder of the Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine, she has had an impact on us, on every one of us graduating tonight. It has been a privilege to be a part of the Lerner College of Medicine, a place that has grown and flourished with Mrs. Lerner's and her late husband, Mr. Alfred Lerner's vision. From our daily learning and training at the Cleveland Clinic to experiencing Cleveland at football games and orchestra concerts, there have been many moments that have been possible with Mrs. Lerner's compassion and generosity. The last time we were able to really gather as a class to show our appreciation was during our first year when Mrs. Lerner graciously hosted us for lunch. So this is a long overdue opportunity to thank her again as a class on our graduation weekend. This compassion and generosity has been a part of our journey through medical school and will continue to be as we begin our careers. With her commitment to the training of future physicians, Mrs. Lerner has set an example for all of us. I am confident our class will accomplish a great deal as clinicians, educators, researchers, leaders, and through it all, we will hopefully be able to give back to others and continue this tradition.
The second person that we would like to recognize tonight as a class is someone that really has been a role model to all of us, somebody that exemplifies what it means to truly lead, someone whose dedication to raising the state of medical education to new heights has materialized in a state-of-the-art health education campus, and someone who has shown us just how far you can go when you combine passion for serving others with a willingness to work hard. And that person is Dr. Mihaljevic. For those here tonight that aren't as familiar with him as we are, Dr. Mihaljevic is the president and CEO of the Cleveland Clinic, like the whole thing. This is an $8 billion enterprise that includes not only main campus, but 10 regional hospitals, 18 family health centers, facilities in Florida, Nevada, Toronto, Abu Dhabi, and London. Despite quite literally being responsible for tens of thousands of people every day, Dr. Mihaljevic, like his predecessor, Dr. Cosgrove, has made the Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine a top priority. Just a few weeks ago, Dr. Mihaljevic took time from his incredibly busy schedule to sit down with us as a class to chat with us about anything and everything, offering invaluable advice to a group of budding physicians. This is just one example among many that demonstrate his passion for training future generations of doctors. If you want another example, when tonight's festivities are over, head to the corner of Euclid and East 93rd, and you will see almost what is certainly the most impressive medical education campus in the United States. A dream that came to fruition under the leadership of Dr. Mihaljevic, and certainly would not have been possible were it not for his dedication to training tomorrow's healthcare providers. Dr. Mihaljevic has said that the best career advice he ever received was that he could do whatever he wanted, but he had to do it under one condition. He always had to strive to becoming the best in the world. Dr. Mihaljevic, thank you for showing us what that looks like.
The photos and messages in this book are only a small representation of our gratitude for Mrs. Lerner and Dr. Mihaljevic. You have both tirelessly supported and advocated for our classmates and colleagues, and we truly cannot thank you enough. Thank you.
Now, Josie and Kate are going to come down and tell us about the class gift.
Hello, everybody. This year, we have decided to celebrate two incredible mentors who have helped shape not only our time here at CCLCM, but also our future as healthcare professionals. Drs. Franco and Hall have given us more than we ever could have asked for during our 5 years here at CCLCM.
As they step away from their current roles, we reflect on how privileged we are to have gone through medical school under their leadership.
Our entire class came together and collectively decided that our contribution back to the school will be the Franco Hall class gift for student wellness-related activities.
The funds we raised in honor of Drs. Franco and Hull will be designated to support the activities that promote physical and mental health while fostering community and camaraderie at CCLCM. Even though we studied all the time and never had any fun,
like those times we reviewed biochemistry at Mitchell's Ice Cream or studied the different microbes during our fun runs,
we hope that the future classes will apply these funds to a diversity of group activities that support student wellness.
Our class gift represents what Drs. Franco and Hull, as well as the entire class of 2019, feel very passionate about, taking care of one another. Thank you.
That's really a wonderful gift, and it really speaks to the importance of taking care of each other, and we will use the funds very wisely. Roy Shao is now going to come up, and this is always something we look forward to, the class video. The dean also gets to preview the class video. The dean is usually given about a day to preview the video, and I was happy to say that I didn't see any need for editing, so Roy, take it away.
Thanks, Dr. Isaacson. It is no secret that we at CCLCM are a very tight-knit community with only 32 students every year. For the past 4 years, I've had the wonderful pleasure of sitting in your seats and watching this beautifully produced video featuring each of the graduating classes that preceded us. This year, I am very privileged to be the one to introduce my class, the greatest class of 2019. In which my classmates talk about their wonderful experiences together, building wonderful memories, in classic CCLCM fashion, reflecting upon their time in the Lerner College, and of course, thanking everyone who made our opportunities here possible. And so before I give the producers the green light to hit the play button, I'd like to personally and on behalf of all of my classmates, thank each and every person that made our experiences possible here. Thank you.
I was always interested in sciences and biology. It made me really interested in the human body and what I could do to help others.
I want to be the doctor that they say, oh, he had great bedside manner, and he talked to me like a person and he explained things to me. So I guess at the end of the day, what kind of doctor do I want to be? I want to be a good one.
It's just a testament to how good our curriculum is and how good our staff and administration are here, that they care so much about students that you feel like you can make a difference in patients' lives.
I think what really sets the Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine apart is the way that it treats its students and the importance that it places on being well-rounded.
When I interviewed here and I found out that there were no tests, I was shocked. We have assignments and we do presentations in small groups and get feedback from faculty, you get feedback from your peers, and that really helps you, grow and develop as a teacher as well as a learner.
And when I heard that there's this concept that you can go to medical school and do research, but you don't have to do this huge MD, PhD, I thought this was the coolest place. And quite honestly, I knew where I wanted to go to med school before I knew where I wanted to go to college.
Being able to have both a research component and a clinical component in your career is something that can really motivate you. You know, you're seeing how things that you're researching or papers that you're reading can really help the patients who are sitting right in front of you on a daily basis.
It's one thing to sit and hear it and learn about it, and it's another to go in, talk with someone, examine them, learn what their experience has been, and then discuss how do you treat them, how do you approach these patients.
That sets the tone for so many things throughout medical school. I think it certainly speaks to professionalism from day one, and that you're given a white coat. Patients will see you as a physician, and you learn to see yourself as a physician.
The work that's done in the Cleveland Clinic on a daily basis is extraordinarily widespread.
You're being taught everything that's on the cutting edge, everything that's coming down the pipeline. Really, you're setting yourself up for a career rather than setting yourself up to take a test.
We're able to work one-on-one with faculty in the clinic or in the lab, or they're giving you lectures, and only later on you find out that they are world-renowned in their field.
The faculty, the mentors, everybody just really rallies behind the students and wants what's best for them and wants them to succeed.
Current deans of our school know everyone by name. They know their backstory. They know who they are clinically and who they are just as a person outside of medicine. And when you have that level of support, you can't help but to thrive in this kind of environment.
Being able to get involved in the Cleveland community through community service really helps give us a sense of purpose.
You have a chance to work with the homeless shelter, you can do eye clinic, there's several different health fairs that we're a part of, but even on top of that, I know there's a group that will go to Peru each year and do a medical outreach.
You know, we've gotten to volunteer at MedWish and volunteer at Belisano and raise money to help cancer research.
There are so many opportunities that provide such important and meaningful care, and to really understand day to day what those patient populations are facing.
My fellow med students are one of the strongest components of this program for me.
There's only 30-something of us, and that really bonds you together.
The aspect that we're a family is very real, especially because we come from all over the country, all over the world. The administration does such a good job of picking a group of 32 people that are going to come in and mesh well.
It is a fun, genuinely fun group of people. I know there's a lot of small weekend trips that folks did. To me, I think some of my favorite memories are just sitting on the porch with my friends.
I am so excited to see what types of physicians everybody becomes, and I can't wait for the day when I can place a consult to someone I went to the Lerner College of Medicine with.
Match Day is the one day in the year where every single fourth-year graduating med student in the nation gets this envelope telling them where they're gonna go for residency.
You run up and you have to get your envelope and find out where you go, and it's really chaotic and really crazy. A lot of emotions, a lot of excitement.
I'm so excited to open up that letter and figure out where I'm headed next.
This experience and this process is grueling and exciting and stressful and amazing.
I don't think this day would be bearable at all if I didn't have the rest of the fantastic residence crew.
You gotta show it off.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I just want everybody to be successful and happy wherever we're at, no matter what we choose, where life takes us.
I love them. I think that they are amazing human beings and they will be amazing doctors in the future.
I'm just really appreciative to Lerner College of Medicine, to the Lerners. It was everything I could have hoped for in medical school.
I don't think I would have gone down this path without coming here.
And our students have worked so hard, the faculty have worked so hard to reach this day. But we know wherever they go, they're going to do great. So proud. Couldn't be prouder.
You know, we all started 5 years ago. It's been a long time. It doesn't feel like it.
It feels like it was just yesterday that we started.
This day seems so far away for so long, and now it's here.
But it's also a little sad because we're going to split up after being together 5 years. So kind of some mixed emotions.
I'm very nervous. She's very excited. It's going to go very well.
It's just going to be a relief to know where we're finally going to be.
I hope my classmates get their #1 choice. I'm so proud of all the work that they've put in, and I just want them to have the best match possible.
It's a dream come true. I'm staying at the Cleveland Clinic for orthopedic surgery.
I matched my top choice, Harvard's combined otolaryngology program. Relieved,
excited, ready to go.
Very happy. We get to go back home.
I'm going to Cleveland Clinic for family medicine, and I'm very excited. All the people there are wonderful, and I get to stick around in this awesome city.
I matched at my number one. I'm staying in the Cleveland Clinic. So yeah.
Matched at Cleveland Clinic, top choice. A lot of people got their number one choices, so I'm really happy about it.
Columbia for ophthalmology.
UW for dermatology.
Yeah,
Excited.
a lot to take in.
Very happy. It was my top choice.
I'm thrilled. I'm staying at the Cleveland Clinic for thoracic surgery.
Oklahoma.
University of Michigan.
I matched at Penn for internal medicine, the number one.
I'm actually here at Cleveland Clinic. Yeah, it's fun to stay here. It's awesome.
Orthopedic surgery, University of Utah. I'm stoked.
I'm actually in Hawaii, going home. Super excited.
Brigham in Boston, which is my number one. I couldn't be more excited.
UCSF for neurology.
Good job, University of Washington. Very happy.
Seattle for internal medicine.
So I'm headed to Indiana University for emergency medicine. That was my number one pick.
I got my number one at Cleveland Clinic. I'm so excited.
I'm proud of everybody and the hard work that they put in to get where they're going.
A lot of hard work paying off.
I love the match. I love the students. I'm really glad to be graduating with them.
Mrs. Lerner and the Lerner family have been so supportive of our school, and without her support, without the family support, this school wouldn't be what it is today.
It was such a blessing to have this opportunity and learn at really a world-class facility from the best faculty that there is with the most supportive staff that exists.
It's unbelievable the extent and type of growth and development that I've experienced. I'm extremely grateful for having the chance to come here.
We have such a great foundation, and we've been learning from such great people that no matter where you go across the country, you're really going to be prepared for that next step.
I was afraid to knock on a patient's door my first week in longitudinal clinic, and now I'm doing rotations at some of the top hospitals in the country, staying at the foot of the bed in the emergency department.
Cleveland Clinic has really given me the confidence that my voice matters and that I can contribute to the field of medicine. I'm very excited to take the next step to becoming a physician. I can't think of something else I would rather do with my life.
That was an awesome video. Makes me want to go back to medical school. But I don't think I could get in. That's the big problem. But you guys are the best of 2019 for sure. Joe Abraham is now going to come up and introduce tonight's faculty speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Isaacson. That was truly an incredible video. I want to watch it again right now. So today I have the distinct pleasure of introducing a faculty speaker, Dr. Marvin Towich. Through my thesis here working with Marvin, I've gotten to know him really well, and I want to share some of that knowledge with you. In terms of his training, Marvin started at Washington University in St. Louis, where he did both his undergrad and his MD PhD. He went on to complete a clinical and anatomic pathology residency at University of Pennsylvania and did a medical genetics fellowship at CHOP. Before joining the Cleveland Clinic Pathology and Lab Medicine Department back in 2001 as staff, Marvin worked in the Harvard system in Boston and taught at Brandeis University. He is an expert in the field of autism and disorders of metabolism and mitochondria. His contributions to the literature have been astounding, with publications in the hundreds, as well as discovering and characterizing a new disease. It was his collaborators that insisted it be titled Towich syndrome, not him. I am truly grateful to have had the opportunity to work with a mentor so dedicated to his patients, his research, and us, the medical students of CCLCM. From the onset of the school, Marvin has been deeply involved, initially through admissions, as well as mentoring several students for research, as well as through teaching. He's been deeply involved in our genetics curriculum, as well as in bioinformatics, and in addition, he incorporated a meanings of disability into our education that helped us gain insights into the lived experiences of people with disability. Whenever Marvin taught us, I think all my classmates can agree that his passion for teaching is nearly unmatched. He cares for material so much, and it was truly infectious for us to be in his classroom and absorbing with that level of enthusiasm. Personally, I worked alongside Marvin quite closely in my research year, And I have to say, he's truly supportive of his students. Once, a week prior to an oral presentation I had to give, I remember that Marvin had a really saturated schedule, but still, he was practicing that presentation with me over 10 times. I was getting really sick of my voice, but he was still there giving me some advice on how to make it that little bit better. Marvin also has a mischievous side to him. I remember once receiving an email blank with the subject, "Scandalous Photos?" ? Naturally, I'm curious and a bit concerned. When I opened the PDF, perhaps against my better judgment, hope the IT department doesn't come after me, it was simply the latest Nature review on autism genetics. But he got me. There is a saying, while it is always best to believe in oneself, a little help from others can be a great blessing. When I have needed it most, Marvin has always been that little help. I cannot overstate how thankful I am for his guidance. Please join me in welcoming my mentor, my colleague, my friend, Dr. Marvin Natowich.
Thank you, Joe. It was a gift to work with you. You're such an amazing person, and a real joy and a treasure to be with all the time that we spent together. Fellow students, CCLSM staff and faculty, family and friends, it's an honor to be here with you today, celebrating the students who are graduating from our medical school. I'd like to share some thoughts about the then and now. A few years ago, all of the graduating students arrived here, no one knowing each other. Since then, much has happened. Every one of the graduating students has worked hard. Every student has traveled an enormous distance in terms of material learned. Every student has had important accomplishments. But let's take a step back and evaluate some of what's been achieved, some of what is yet to come, and some hopes and dreams that might yet materialize. When you, the students of the graduating class, arrived here, all of you had been successful in school. All of you had high grades in college, high test scores, and more. Each of you had been a winner in an ultra-competitive, highly individualistic educational system. All of you had hopes of becoming some sort of physician. And then you came here. You knew before coming here that educational practice in this school did not include grades, tests, or class rankings. And then, from the first week of matriculation, you began to experience, some of you with clumsiness or frank difficulty, an important mantra of our school. We're here to be colleagues in the fullest sense of that word, to work together, to teach each other, and to learn from each other. The staff of the school set out to do this, all the while encouraging each person's individualistic interests and dreams. We tried to achieve these goals in various ways, through small group, problem-based learning sessions, interactive seminars, research projects, and through the creation of numerous evaluation portfolios that required critical self-assessment and honest reflection. And here we are. It's now several years since your matriculation here. You were chosen to be part of our program because of your earlier accomplishments and our perception of your potential. That included our hopes that you would have a collegial sensibility be an avid lifelong learner, and a kind and effective caregiver. Some of our goals have already been attained. On the first day of attendance of my fine medical school, an esteemed faculty member said, "Look to the person on your left, then look to the person on your right. Only one of those two persons will graduate with you." While that statement was clearly intended as a joke, it helped set forth the culture of learning that we became part of that included, besides academic excellence, extreme competition and a very limited sense of collegiality and community. In contrast, as you now look at the person on your left and the person on your right, you see persons that you collaborated with and shared important learning experiences. For now and forever, you have each other in very meaningful ways. This is a great success that you've been part of and an everlasting gift for both your professional career and in your personal life. You were also chosen to be part of our program because of our belief in you as a change maker. You, members of the graduating class, will soon be traveling in many different directions, building on what has been learned here and entering a new phase of your lives. No one has a crystal ball and can predict our trajectories, our personal and professional outcomes. But this much is certain: it's more than knowledge that you gained since being here, and as the saying goes, to know is not enough. You leave here with a well-cultivated sense of respect for one another and the practice of medicine and the importance of each patient and family. And each of you, in your own distinctive ways, will be of help to others and make inroads in repairing the world. The world will be a better place because of you and what you'll provide. One more thing. Your achievements, earned through years of hard work, have taken place in a context. I've already mentioned the CCLCM staff and faculty who've been your partners and who, in the most romantic sense of being teachers and aides, have worked to raise you up so that you can see things that we can't see and do things beyond that which we have done and which we are capable of. But there's another part of this context that needs recognition and which has been mentioned. All the wonderful things that you see and do are, in considerable part, a function of the loving support that you've received from your mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, spouses, partners, and dear friends. So while we celebrate you today, we also should celebrate all those who stood by you and assisted you in your journeys. And finally, to you, the students, the graduates, our hopes for the future, we say, in the words of Neil Young, long may you run. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marvin. Now I want Alex Chadoff to come down. This speech I did not get to preview, Alex, did I? But I have full confidence in Alex. Alex, I saw just recently at the SJIM National Meeting, right before graduation, still disseminating his research as many of his classmates. So Alex, interested in your thoughts. Come on up.
I was probably supposed to send him the
the speech, but when you go on vacation and lose access to your CCF email, you just kind of wing it, so we'll see. Before I really begin, I first want to, again, recognize the Lerner family for having the vision to support this school. Doctors Cosgrove and Mihalovich for continuing to support the school, and the many staff and faculty at CCLCM for continuing to do such an incredible job running the school. And I also want to thank all the loved ones who have supported us on this portion of our journey, so thank you. I appreciate you clapping. I figured that was a good way to get some claps early on. And the rest, we can see where we go from here. I do also want to specifically thank the class of 2019, my class, for giving me this opportunity to represent them. They've been subject to many of my ramblings in classes, and I'm genuinely shocked that they're allowing me near a microphone today. But I really appreciate it. And part of the reason I'm so appreciative is because I've wanted to graduate from CCLCM since 2007. And it's not because I've been here since then and just held back. It's because 2007 was the year I took part in the science internship program at the Cleveland Clinic. Now, this is a program designed to give local high school students an introduction to different careers in the sciences. And one of those careers is being a physician. So administrators from CCLCM came to talk to us. Now, in 2007, to set the stage a bit, CCLCM was as new as it gets. They had not graduated their first class. They were not yet waiving tuition for all of their students. I imagine that first class that would eventually graduate would walk into their residency interviews and say, hello, program director, I know you've never heard of my school, but I also don't have grades. But despite that, I still left that meeting, that informational meeting about CCLCM, knowing without a doubt that this is where I wanted to be for medical school. And it turns out Alex, the other Alex in the class, who's also from Cleveland, mentioned in the video, turns he knew he wanted to be here as well. So what led us to know, before we were even ready to apply to college, where we wanted to be for medical school? Because in Cleveland, you know that the Cleveland Clinic is special. That's not hyperbole. If you're from here, whether you're a patient or a caregiver, you understand that this place is special, and it is a privilege to be a part of the culture of excellence that is here. But admittedly, a lot of my class is not from Cleveland, and so when I matriculated 7 years later with the class of 2019, some people didn't have the same understanding, the same rosy understanding, I should say, of what their experience at CCLCM was going to be. And digging a little deeper that first week trying to be the ambassador from the area, I found out it was because CCLCM was located in Cleveland. There's something about these Californians and being worried about these rainy skies and gray, rainy skies, the pre-LeBron sports teams, I don't know, something about that. But I do know that 5 years later, we're now all on the same page. We all understand that this place is special. This place does things differently. And that's exactly why we're prepared to have such long and impactful careers. Instead of focusing on grades, we've been taught to focus on patients. Instead of taking esoteric tests, we've been tasked with finding mentors and pursuing our passions. And instead of sitting in lectures, we've been in small groups and in the clinic, honing those communication skills that really make healthcare work. And with those tools and this curriculum, and the fact that this class is a bunch of go-getters, we took advantage of everything that the Cleveland Clinic and CCLCM had to offer. This class of 2009, we've published dozens of papers. We've presented at some of the largest scientific meetings in our fields. We've started companies. We've patented devices. We've won prestigious grants. We've worked at the National Institutes of Health. And next year, we'll go to some of the top programs in the country to continue our training. And honestly, when I say that out loud, it makes me worried that we peaked a little too early. It's true. But in all honesty, when I really reflect on the class, it's not those accolades that stand out. And it's not those accolades that our class would want to stand out. There's a famous Italian mother, Patty Chadoff, and she has a saying, truly says this all the time: you can be the smartest person in the world. If you're a jerk, you're still a jerk. I could come home with a Nobel Prize one day, and there would be my mother looking at it, maybe putting it on the counter and saying, well, you can be the smartest person in the world. If you're a jerk, you're still a jerk. This class's intelligence, professional achievements, it's not what differentiates it. No, what characterizes the class of 2019 is a genuine desire to do good for others, and not because there may be recognition that follows, but because it's what's right. This is a class that cherishes service. They've taken leadership positions in groups like Phi DE and on numerous administrative committees that help make this school such a vibrant place to learn. They volunteer for causes that varied from local Cleveland food banks to MedWish International. They set up health screenings for people living in Cleveland or as far away as Peru. And this class stands for things. Its members stood for community when they won thousands of dollars in funding to help Clevelanders, many of whom were underserved, avoid needless and costly emergency medical visits. They stood for public health at a time when a local Cleveland news source was speaking poorly and spreading lies about vaccinations. They stand for inclusion when they found women in medicine groups and panels. And most importantly, this class stands for patience. They stand for patience when they stay late to make sure nothing falls through the cracks, when they go back to talk to a patient who they've realized hasn't had any family member visit recently, and every time that they fight an unsafe discharge from the hospital. So this is the part of the speech that I'm building to, where I'm supposed to come with a call to action or a challenge for the class. But my classmates don't need me to challenge them. They don't need me to inspire them. Because at CCLCM, we have to be self-driven. But I will say, even though we are smart, even though we are passionate, even though we are ambitious, I can't imagine there are people out there that will publish more papers, they will invent more devices, they will generate more RVUs and more money for their hospital. But I cannot imagine a group of more genuine people prepared to work so hard to do what's good for others. And for patients, for future colleagues, for the field of medicine that can't just advance but needs to do so responsibly and ethically, that moral grounding is far more important and far more impressive. So this graduation is bittersweet. I know we're all excited to be physicians. I also know that we'll miss gathering at sunrise. We'll miss hanging out with Cooper at holiday parties. We'll miss binging a bunch of television shows with our classmates. We'll miss the impromptu Mitchell's runs. We'll miss the brunches. We'll miss going to Barrio Happy Hour. We will especially miss discussions on the health benefits of green tea and looking at pictures of a certain black cat, especially me on the last ones. But I also know I'm so excited to see this class go and share that selflessness, that genuine and pure desire to do good with the rest of the medical world. And I'm excited to see that be our unique legacy. So thank you again, everybody, for allowing me to speak today. Congratulations, class of 2019. It's been an honor to be your classmate, but it's one that I know will be exceeded by being your lifelong colleague. Thank you.
Alex, you didn't disappoint, and I don't think you've peaked too early. I think the future's ahead of you for all of you. Now I'd like Rachel Baird to come down and present the Outstanding Contributions to CCLCM Award as chosen by students. Rachel.
Thank you, Dr. Isaacson, and good evening, everyone. It's really my honor to get to present the Graduating Students Outstanding Contribution Award to a truly inspirational woman who we're proud to call a member of the class of 2019, Dr. Kathleen Franco. While Outstanding Contribution is a remarkable title, it doesn't do justice to the type of impact that Dr. Franco has had on CCLCM and its students. I did some basic math, and over the 16 years of the school's existence, Dr. Franco has recruited, welcomed, and supported 16 classes, including over 500 students. While her official title has been Associate Dean of Admissions and Student Affairs, her functional titles include school mom, therapist, advocate, support system, and many more. But rather than just take my word for it, I asked my classmates for one word they would use to describe Dr. Franco. According to the class of 2019, Dr. Franco is compassionate, caring, nurturing, and encouraging. She is devoted, selfless, and clutch in any situation. She is truly a saint. Without her, we would not be the CCLCM family that we are today. Dr. Franco, thank you again for all of your service to the students of CCLCM. You will be truly missed, and we wish you the best for the next chapter of your life. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Franco.
I know I'm not supposed to talk very long. I want to thank all the families who I remember seeing at White Coat and telling you we appreciated you loaning us your son or daughter for the next 5 years. And I really mean to tell you that again. And I mean it even a lot more because we've grown to love them beyond words. They are, just as Alex described them, people who care. And I know that their life will be full because they do care and they do make contributions. And they're not going to stop that. They also care about each other. And that part is critical for you to protect yourself from the stress and strain. So reaching out to each other and your new colleagues together, it's so important. It's so important. You will learn something every day and make it exciting, just as the curiosity that you have here to continue to foster that. Your loving PAs, your faculty who've given you so much, will always remember you. You are the best. And so just continue all that you are doing now, and for sure you haven't peaked yet. You will definitely, I just love you. I can't say any more than that. Thanks.
Wow. Well, you'll be happy to know, the students who haven't graduated yet, that we will bring Dr. Franco back on her own terms after retirement to help out with the school. She's irreplaceable, so thanks so much, Kathy. Moving on to another award, I'd ask Erin Yamamoto to come down and present the award for excellence in research.
On behalf of the class of 2019, I'm excited to present the award for excellence in research education to my research mentor, Dr. Trina Jorgensen. Dr. Jorgensen runs her own lab at the Lerner Research Institute, studying lupus and autoimmune disease. At the same time, she managed to find the time to facilitate our first-year summer journal club, PBL sessions, and also worked tirelessly behind the scenes as an active member of the CCLCM Research Education Committee. This committee oversees our entire research curriculum. Most recently for our class, she reviewed and attended many of our thesis defenses, ensuring that our projects were conducted with the scientific rigor and integrity that are important to CCLCM philosophy. When deciding on my research year project, I reached out to Dr. Jorgensen to find researchers who might be interested in studying vitamin D and immunology. She offered a few names and they didn't pan out. But at the end of one of our emails exchanges, she wrote, ... But I would be interested in a project like this in lupus. She ended it with a smiley face. And that's when I knew that she would be a great mentor, because smiley faces in emails are always a good sign. But I also found that she encourages students to develop their own research interests and curiosities rather than try to fit them into an existing project that they might not be passionate about. Dr. Jorgensen is dedicated to the development and success of all CCLCM students, and I can't think of a more deserving recipient for this award. Congratulations, Trina.
Now I have the privilege of remembering our colleague and friend, Elaine F. Danifer, who was one of the founding faculty of CCLCM, and the faculty who really championed our innovative portfolio system and really helped us develop a focus on reflective practice. And in her honor, her family created the Elaine F. Danifer PhD Award to a faculty member who exemplifies the ideals of mentoring and reflective practice. And I can think of no one more deserving than Julie Risch. Julie and I have worked together for many years, and Julie currently directs our CCLCM communication skills curriculum. Julie, congratulations.
Moment to say thank you. I'm deeply humbled. Elaine was an inspiration to me personally, and I believe in what we're doing here and the incredible power of self-reflection and empathy and listening and then reflecting again. So thank you. It has been my greatest joy to learn with you. So thank you.
We want to also acknowledge that we have 21 students. I think this is a record, so another record for the class of 2019. Students receiving a master's degree, and you can see in various different areas, so congratulations to those students. And now what do you say we recognize this wonderful class individually? So I'm going to ask the alumni, the deans and physician advisors to come down to the podium, and we will get started with our recognition of the individual students of the class of 2019. I do want to acknowledge Daniel Heddle, Jasmine Sutton, and Christine Warren, our alumni tonight, who will be giving the pins and the books to our students. Our deans who are here tonight, Jean Barnett, Kathy Franco, Linda Graham, Neil Mehta, and the physician advisors you see listed, Marjan Adiran, Kendall Cobb, Robert Dean, Tim Gilligan, Phil Hall, Ruth Emery, Jennifer Kriegler, Mike Mackin, Rich Prayson, Kathy Quinn, and Jordy Rowe. And Ruth, you get to start us off. So,
Joseph Abraham.
Rachel Baird.
Alex Chadoff. Karen Fang.
Anna Faris.
Joe Featherall.
Jennifer Hugh.
Catherine Atuarte.
Jace Jones. Sahar Khan.
Michael Lababera.
Ling Ling Lee.
Lin Lin.
Erin McBride.
Blair Mitchell Hanley.
Joshua Niferatos could not join us tonight, but we wanted to give him a shout out as well.
Unfortunately, Tulsi Patel could not join us this evening too, but I just wanted to mention her name also. Ellen Romick is here.
Kelly Shibuya.
Dada Sudarshana.
Bob's son.
Carol Swetlick. That's Carrie.
Alex Ulentz.
Jose Vega.
Josie Volovich.
Natalie Walker.
Michael Walters.
James Whitten.
Roy Shao. Alan Shu.
Jason Ya.
And last but definitely not least, Erin Yamamoto.
The class of 2019. I also want to thank the crew here that helped out. Sammy, Tobias, stand up, will you? You helped so much planning this. Matt, please stand up. A lot goes behind this, and they did their best to keep me from screwing up too much. I think we did okay. On behalf of CCLCM, Cleveland Clinic, thank you all for being here for this wonderful event. The class will exit shortly, and then we will have a celebration up on the 3rd floor. So please, after the class exits, please exit up the stairs, out the back of the auditorium, and we'll see you for the celebration.